Tokyo looking for our rental car. We must take a shuttle to get to it, but we don't know what the shuttle looks like. So we decided maybe we should vlog. I thought Bruce said walk, but he said vlog, so I'm vlogging now. Got our rental car. We're going to find our first hard off. What do you think about that?
Let's get it done. This car just turned off. How do you turn the car on?
That's awkward.
How do you turn the car on? Oh my god.
In 1 kilometer, 200 meters, traffic jam.
We are the traffic jam. So we thought we had some car problems, but it turns out that newer cars just like to turn off to save gas. About to hit our first hard off. See what kind of trip this is gonna be. So here at the first hard off, some of the prices are outrageous, some of the prices are really decent. One of those decently priced things, and my first pickup in Tokyo, is YY World 2. And I picked that up complete in box for $35.
Look at that mess I just made. Look at that. How embarrassing.
Well, that wasn't what I wanted to record.
Wow. Gunbird for 32.
And $100 for Raiden 3. Pass. First hard off. Got this game. It's a shoot 'em up. Can't pronounce the name. Gunbird for the PlayStation. And a complete copy of YY World 2. So the first day we decided to go to Akihabara, and I found the PC Engine games at Super Potato. You always hear about high prices at Super Potato, but surprisingly a lot of PC Engine games are decently priced compared to what they go for online. Dragon Spirit?
Yeah, I got that one though. They made a sequel to it called Dragon Saber.
Yeah, I'm picking up a lot of PC Engine games. And I found a pretty cool Hanshin Tigers complete in box GameCube console, but I ended up passing on this in the end because I was already spending a lot of money on PC Engine games. Still at Super Potato, here's a case with some of their rare games. There's Adventure Island 4, Metal Storm, Holy Divers, Snow Bros, Hebrew, Bio Miracle. Down below that, there's a complete in box Hammer and Harry, Zombie Nation. And over in the corner there's a Gun Knack, which I almost picked up but I ended up passing on. Over here we find all the Famicoms. You got the disc system, twin Famicoms, super Famicoms. You have box twin Famicoms. Up here you find a PC Engine interface unit. A lot of really cool stuff to look at in Super Potato, Famicom box, Super Famicom box. A lot of the stuff isn't for sale. It's just pretty cool to see. There's a really rare Wonder Mega, SG-1000, Sega Mark III. Here's the Sega Saturns and a V Saturn, which I actually end up passing on here because it's a little pricey. And over here is a Regulation 7 Dreamcast console in the box. Pretty cool. When you go to Tokyo, there's just so much to look at. Stuff you would never pass on at your local game store. But there's just way too much, so you end up passing on a lot of stuff. You don't have time to go through everything. So a lot of stuff that I'm just going through here, I would never pass up at my local game store. A lot of times I just go through the glass cases. And there's Hero Tama for $188. I really want that game. Here we are at my favorite store in Akihabara, which is Traders, and they usually have the best selection with the best prices for the city. One day I might do this trip just to focus on Neo Geo AES games. I love collecting for the system, but as you can see, the prices are outrageous a lot of the times. Even though you have to pass on a lot of stuff, it's just really cool to see a lot of these games that never pop up or you never seen before. It's a really cool experience. Looking through the N64 games, this is where I found my first copy of Bangay-O for the N64, which is a Japanese exclusive, and I ended up trading it, and there it is. I'll end up picking that up. Also at Traders, I end up finding Battle Garega for a good price, and I pick it up. Here we are at our next store. I don't remember what this one is called, but it's a new store that just opened, and they have some decently priced stuff. And it's Magical Poppin', one of the games on my hit list here, complete in box, but at $1,300, I don't want to spend all my money just yet. But there are some other really cool rare games in this case. There's Rendering Ranger for the Super Famicom for about 700 bucks. Over here you'll find Gimmick and a loose copy of Magical Poppin' for about $270. Alright, day 2. And we're at our first hard off. Let's switch to the GoPro, testing this camera out. We've been sitting out here for like 45 minutes waiting for it to open, so it's getting ready to open. Let's see how day 2 goes. Hey, there's Gunhead over here. Oh, yes. Lockman, $30. I'm getting that. Yo! Dude, that's a good deal. I paid like 70 bucks for mine. Robaco Wars for Famicom. This is like a really good video, dude. Ooh.
That's the one you're looking for?
That is. It's the one I'm missing. Thanks, man. Oh my gosh. Fudge. Dude, I just found Battle Garega for 166, well 154. And I paid like almost 200 yesterday. So for whatever reason, every time I found something or picked something up at one store, even if it was common or unrare, I'd find it at another store later on for a cheaper price. This kept happening the entire trip. In one of my other videos, I found a set of gold controllers, and this is a box variant, so I'll be picking that up. Hard off number 2, you ready?
Hell yeah, let's go.
At the second hard off of the day, we're looking. I see some Neo Geo AES games, nothing I'm too interested in, but Bruce ends up finding one of the games on his hit list. Luckily, he called it and said he wanted it, so I let him have it.
Hey! That's the game I was looking for.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta get it. Heck yeah. That's the one. We gotta find some controllers so we can play that.
You're lucky you called that. One thing I did find in the store that I ended up picking up for a pretty good price for $50 is a Neo Geo AES controller in its box. I don't have one of these, so I'm gonna buy it. Luckily I already have the console because it's pretty pricey. So we're walking into hard off number 3 right now on day 2. Hopefully we find some more good stuff. One little mini collection I have is collecting big box N64 Japanese games, and they have some really good prices on the ones out here, but unfortunately I have most of them and I'm only missing a couple. I did pick up a complete in box PC Engine interface unit, and this PC Engine will be perfect to put in there. finally I find some nice games in the display case. Here's my pickups. Sky Kid, Bogies, PC Engine. Got that for the interface unit. Alright, getting ready to hit the 4th hard off. 2nd day. Bruce doesn't know where he's going when he drives ever.
We're trying to get to the parking lot of this hard off right now. It's a little hard to get to over here. There's so many pedestrians everywhere.
I found the GoPro to be very useful on this trip. The first day in Akihabara, I had the big camera and it was just weighing down on my neck, big and bulky, slamming on everything because all the stores are so packed. So this GoPro is really nice to have, and I think it does a really good job for what we're doing, chasing games. Hard off, hard off. Number 2. You gotta go number what? So this hard off is one of the best by far, and I'm looking at that white and blue GameCube controller for 75 bucks. And it happened again because I just picked it up for 100 at another hard off previously. This one just had a ton of rare stuff that you never see anywhere else, and it was really cool to see. They had cases and cases of just rare games, where most hard offs only have 1, maybe 2 rare cases. This one had a ton. They also have a lot of rare consoles. This is a PC Engine interface unit, which I picked up a complete in box one for the same price. So finally I caught a little bit of a break there. I also have a lot of nice complete in box Famicoms. I've never seen this many in one store in this kind of condition. There's a PC Engine Duo for 160 bucks, and hidden back here is the console I just picked up for 60, and that one's 100, so another good score. Up here you'll find a box twin Famicom. It's the last colored one I need, but I found something else in the store I bought and I let Bruce have that. And here's some more complete in box Famicoms. This store really has everything. There's a complete in box YY World 2, and mine was much cheaper. Complete in box Final Fight Guy for 100 bucks. And there's Magical Poppin' again, but this one's over $2,000 complete in box. And here's another case. They have Airzonk in here, and these cases are just hidden all over the store. I can just keep finding more and more. Here's a pretty cool complete in box Super Famicom multi-tap. And I find a complete in box Holy Diver for the Famicom. And that was $200. The twin?
The what?
The twin?
No. The Holy.
Holy Diver?
How do you get that?
Do you want it? Ooh.
Yeah, is this one of the games? Oh, this is the one you were talking about.
Yeah, Jagoku Magiri. I got it. Is it a good price? No, that's not a good price. Holy Diver, man. Not very many people have that complete in box. I don't know. It's a tough one. I also find Ghost Pilots for the Neo Geo AES, so this store is really awesome. So Holy Diver, 200 complete in box. I don't know. Should I do it or should I not do it?
That's on you. I can't speak for you. For that price?
It's pretty expensive. Alright, so here we are at our 5th hard off on day 2. I kind of blew my load at the last one. Or let me think of
a better word.
Let me think.
Yeah, he blew his load at the last one.
No.
It's a good thing you blew your load, because if you didn't blow your load, I was going to blow mine.
Yeah, so I got Holy Diver complete in box at the 4th hard off.
Where is it?
That was 200.
Where is it?
Yeah, let's see here.
to show it off when you're talking about it.
Holy Diver. It's $200. Complete in box. Then I got a Ghost Pilots. Can you see that? Yeah. Ghost Pilots for Neo Geo AES. I don't even want to talk about prices right now. So,
like you said, he blew his load.
yeah, so here we are, 5th hard off. I'm going to have to slow it down because there's a Duo RX complete in box that I'd like to pick up, but you know, the rate I'm going, it's not going to happen that way. So let's see what we find at the 5th hard off.
Let's go. Number 5.
So at this hard off, I'm not really finding anything that's that interesting. Bruce ended up picking up this thing, and I start checking out the junk N64s. I see this weird expansion pack that I never seen before, so I thought that was interesting enough to pick it up for $3. And I always like to look at the junk N64s and see if there's any expansion packs inside, because sometimes you can get those expansion packs for $3. Way to stick these out in the middle of the aisle. Alright, so we're off store number 8. This is a book off Super Bizarre. So hopefully we find some super bizarre things here. That's what I'm really hoping for. And the GoPro died, so I'm back to the big old fat camera. You know what's super bizarre? Finding our way around this place. How much is that box PC Engine?
$129.
So as I'm going through the case, I realized during editing that I made a ton of mistakes. I'm going for all the complete in box PC Engine consoles, and I forgot to get that one for $129 right there. And that's because I get down here and I see this really strange Sega Saturn. It's actually a Hitachi High Saturn, but not just any High Saturn. This one was a GPS, had a karaoke machine attachment, and it was $1,500 at launch. This one was actually $2,000, but there was only 2,000 made, and there was only 1,000 of the screens made. So it was just crazy to see that. I'll grab that.
There's 2 of them. Pick which one. Look at these controllers are $8. Isn't that crazy?
So it was really bizarre. This store did have a lot of awesome consoles and good prices, but their game selection was very limited. This one was all about controllers and consoles. Bruce found these PC Engine shuttle controllers, and we end up picking up one each. Alright, so we're at store number 9. Book off. We're gonna hit up hard off next. See what we can find. The stores are getting ready to close, so let's make it quick. I'm wasting time. I didn't find anything at book off, so now we're at hard off. I like being greeted with games as soon as I walk in. What the heck is that? And look at the excitement here as I find a complete in box Midnight Blue N64. This thing was in awesome condition, and it was a box upgrade. Yeah, my box is beat up. This one's nice.
$129.
It's not bad, huh? Fortunately, I'm out of room, and we've already shipped stuff. And I thought we were done shipping stuff, but when I realized we weren't, it was already too late. I didn't get the console, but I did find Geekisha Boy for the PC Engine, which I've been looking for. I found a game I'm buying.
How much is it?
60 or 70.
You don't want to know what I'm getting. You don't want to know. It's gonna hurt your feelings.
What?
You don't want to know. It's gonna hurt your feelings. You were just talking about
what
this happening to you. Alright, so I'm getting Falcion, right, for the hard disk system. I'm also getting Doki Doki Panic for $16.
Not fair.
You just said that keeps happening to you. You go one place and then you go to another and it's cheaper.
Alright, so I found this store on our way back. It doesn't look too promising. Let's check it out and find out. See any games over there?
Video games?
게임. 게임은 전환 중고.
This way?
그리고 인본 가든.
This building?
8.
Oh, card box.
We got pointed to another store across the street that didn't say anything about games on that, but we're gonna go check that out. Hopefully there's something cool over there. We're just kind of shooting in the dark at this point.
Price on that.
Anybody else catch that? Bruce tells me to look at the price of the orange GameCube, then goes by me and picks up a blue Pikachu controller right under my nose. And I didn't want to delete any of this footage because I wanted to show you. Well played, sir. Did you sidetrack me?
No, I didn't sidetrack you. I just saw this underneath there in that bin.
Alright, let's take a second look. Here's where Bruce tells me to take a look at the price of the orange GameCube. Then as I look at the price of the GameCube as he instructed, I look in the glass behind me and I see Bruce bent over picking up the Pikachu controller. Did you sidetrack me?
No, I didn't sidetrack you. I just saw this underneath there in that bin. For Orange Super Famicom controller number 15. Super Commander? That's pretty cheap. It comes with the box. It usually goes for like $24 in Mangasoko and Island.
So moving along, I find a game for Sega Saturn called Cyberbots, and it's only 15 bucks, and it goes for a lot more online, so I end up picking that up. And I also pick up the boxed Hori Super Commander for Super Famicom. Alright, here we are at Book Off Plus. Book Off's closed considerably later than Hard Off's, so we're stuck at the lower end store for games, but hey, we already got a bunch of good stuff. 27. At that point, you just got to pick it up. Oh,
Where are you going? Look at that price right there.
And here we have Stadium Events.
Yeah. Oh, the Famicom version.
Stadium Events.
$5. You gonna get it?
Nope.
I don't have a copy yet. I'll take it. Thanks.
He gets the Stadium Events
Oh, my
for
prized possession.
$5.
So expensive.
Again, I just picked this up for 15. Here it is for 9. So this book off ended up being pretty nice. We found some PC Engine games. We picked a couple of those up, and we also got to see a PC Engine GT. Pretty cool to see those in the wild. It's day 3. We hunt the games. We at the Hard Off. What do you hope to find?
More PC Engine games.
More PC Engine games.
Sure.
Me too. Let's get to it. This one stinks bad. I don't like the smell in here. I feel like if we do find a console in here, it's gonna be moldy. Hello Kitty Dreamcast.
Hello Kitty Game Boy.
What is that controller? I kinda want one of those controllers. Might pick one up. Complete in box Bucky O'Hare. I'm gonna have to check that out. That's sweet. Oh, Splatterhouse 2? Oh, that's legit. Hey Bruce, I got you. Come here. I got you, bro. But don't take what I'm getting already.
There it is.
64 complete. That's a good deal.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Is that what you're getting?
Yep, that one, and there's a complete in box Bucky O'Hare over there.
How much is the Bucky O'Hare?
160.
I'm a squid, they call me calamari. We're gonna go to Hard Off and find some games now.
Hard Off number 2, day 3. Here we go.
Let's do it.
We've been here.
Oh, that looks familiar.
Let's go. What a disappointment. There's so many hard-offs that we accidentally went to one we've already been to. How do you feel about that?
Disappointed.
With this hard-off, I find a Box Go controller for 64, which I've never seen one for 64. It's always for PlayStation or Saturn, so I picked that up. I also find this really cool biohazard gun, but I had no idea how I would get it home.
$100. Guess what? Untested.
Hard off number 3, day 3. I'm technically out of money, so we'll see what happens. Hey, what color is that?
Dang, look, they're popping up out of nowhere.
Oh, 37. Gosh damn it, I looked for years.
How much did you pay?
54. So awesome that the employees bring you a basket when you need it. And despite being out of money that I had allotted for the trip, I decided to break into some other funds and buy some more games and a console. What'd you end up getting?
Just a PC Engine games and another controller for $10. So.
And we're off to the next hard off. Yes, my friends, another hard off. It just makes me so happy to see the sign. I see that sign and I think of all the great deals that are waiting for me. Just puts a smile on my face. Looks like some schmups. So for that price, I'll get them.
Oh, those Elvis.
Yeah.
Thought about it myself.
So this store ended up being a mostly Sega store. I find this loose Mega Drive, which I usually pass on, but it came with a boxed Tatsujin controller. And I also picked up the shmups that were in the front of the case. Hard off number 5?
For the day.
Hard off number 5, day 3. I don't even know. This one looks secluded, untapped. We'll find out.
For $129, dude.
Nice. This particular hard off had a lot of interesting games that I wanted to pick up. However, a lot of eBay prices were cheaper, so I ended up passing on some of these. Here's a box super released for the Super Famicom. In the States it's known as Space Megaforce. And another copy of Bangai-O, but this one's 100. Although it was in a lot better condition than mine, I ended up passing.
Anything good yet?
Yeah. At this hard off, there was also a really cool case for the Famicom disk system, but when I looked at it, it had a huge crack on the inside, so I ended up passing. That's worth it, dude. It's boxed. That one's $324.
Not on my paycheck.
What's this one for $216?
That's the Neo Geo like you just got.
And I end up finding Kid Icarus for $10, so I picked that up. Alright, we had to rush back, mail some stuff out. We've done that. I don't remember what store we're on. This is the 3rd day. Cutting it down to the last few hard offs before the trip is over, so hopefully we find some good stuff. I found a gold Gundam PS2 for $15. I got you, man.
What?
In the junk section, something you wanted to find.
Oh,
The
yeah?
problem is, I don't know what you're gonna do because we don't have room.
Don't say that.
I'd be buying it if I knew how to get it back.
It's a little roughed up. I'm a big Final Fantasy fan, so I gotta have this like near mid.
I end up finding the matching controllers for the Gundam Cube and a Spice Orange GameCube controller in the box. Alright, here we are at our last hard off of the trip. Bruce is already trying to run ahead and get all the good deals. But yeah, our last one, day 3. Everything's gonna be closing soon. This one's open till 8. But this hard off, I actually find a pretty cool Famicom briefcase that holds Famicom games in the junk section. And even though it's in rough condition, $8 is a good deal because the inside was nice. I also find a set of twin sticks for the PlayStation. I found these at my local store in the junk section for $10 a long time ago. And these ones are $162, so I guess I got a pretty good deal. Alright, so this is going to be the pickups video for Tokyo, and I'm going to kind of go by system. And normally I do gameplay for all the games when I do game chasing videos or pickups videos, but there's so many games here it would probably take me a couple months to record gameplay for all these games. So I'm just going to go through and show you everything I got. Let's check it out. Alright, and first up, for Famicom Disk System, we have Kid Icarus, The Legend of Zelda, The Legend of Zelda 2, and I found a copy of Doki Doki Panic. Those games were all $10 each, so that's a pretty good deal. They go for more than that online, so it was really nice to find those for $10 each. Except Doki Doki Panic, which I paid $30 for it, and then later found it cheaper for $20, so that was a little bit disappointing. Alright, next up for Famicom, we have some box Famicom cards. First one up is Sky Kid, Excite Bike, which I've been looking for a complete in box copy of this one for a while now, and I finally found it. I don't know why I had such trouble finding it, but I love Excite Bike and I wanted to get the Famicom version box as well. So that's cool to have. I got a box copy of Ghostbusters, box copy of Egypt, YY World 2, which was my first pickup at a hard off. As soon as we left the airport, we stopped at a hard off. And this was my first find, is a complete in box copy of YY World 2, and it was for a pretty good deal. I don't remember the price off the top of my head. I think it was $25 or $30, but the going rate for this is a lot more, and it was more everywhere I seen it in Tokyo. It was going for $50 to $60, so got a really good deal on this one. And then a box copy of Parodius, and I think this was 2,000 yen or $20. Next up is Splatterhouse, which is actually a game that I had on my want list when we were headed to Tokyo, and we stopped at a random book off next to one of the hard offs we went to. It was an unscheduled stop, but I was like, hey, let's stop there and check it out, and this was the only box copy of Splatterhouse I saw in Tokyo, so I'm glad we did that. Finally, for complete in box copies, I found Holy Diver, and it was pretty pricey, but when do you ever see a complete in box Holy Diver? So I saw it, I had to have it. Next up, I found this family computer briefcase. These are pretty cool. I already have the black version of this. This was in the junk section. It's not in the best condition on the outside, but the inside is really clean. It's not ripped or torn inside like you find some of these. And it was only 800 yen or like $7-8 in the junk section. It's missing the handle and stuff, but it's worth it to me. And it holds loose Famicom games, and here's the rest of the Famicom games I picked up in Tokyo, which is Rockman. It's the last one I needed out of the 6, is the original one. I got Crisis Force, which is a shoot 'em up. And then I got these 2 Power Ranger games, which are actually pretty fun platformers. And that's it for Famicom. Let's move on to N64. So for N64, I collect the Japanese exclusives mostly, and the big box variants. And here's one I didn't have. It's Fishing Master, complete in box. It was only 10 bucks. Here's another game I'd never seen before. It's called Super B Demand. Next up is Denryu Ira Ira Bo, I think I probably butchered that name. but this is a fun game where you got to try to balance a ball between some wires. It's actually really hard, but it's definitely an interesting game. Mahjong 64, Go 64. I also got the Go controller I found complete in box. It's the first one I've ever seen and I've been looking for it for years. That's being shipped to me, so I don't have it here to show you today, but here's the big box version of the game. Another big box, Koro Q, and this came with pieces to build a car. I've already looked inside, it's still in the plastic, it was never put together, so it's pretty cool to find that. And Star Fox 64, which came with a rumble pack. And finally I found a complete in box copy of Bangeo, and this was a pretty good deal. It was I think 75, 80 bucks. They usually go for a lot more than that. The condition isn't the best, and I did find one later on at another hard off that you've seen in the video for $100, $108, around there, and it was in much better condition, but I had already bought this one. That's okay, just having the game is pretty cool, complete in box. Finally I got a gold N64 controller in the box, and if you've watched some of my other game hunting videos from a while back, you've seen I picked up some complete in box gold controllers. This is a variant box for the gold controller, so I was happy to find the variant. Next up, Mega Drive, we got Thunder Force 4, Shoot 'em Up for the system, pretty cool. Master of Weapon, and these games I got considerably cheaper than what they would go on eBay for, so it was nice finding these for a good deal. Splatterhouse Part 2, which was a really cool find. Rocket Knight Adventures, another one I got a really good deal on. Aladdin, and Bare Knuckle 2, which was another one that I got a really good deal on. Finally I picked up this Mega Drive, and normally I pass right by loose Mega Drive consoles, but I looked and this one had a box controller, and I'll show it to you real quick. I'll pull it out of the box here in a minute. And this bundle was 5,400 yen, or about $50, and I looked at this controller and it's actually a Tatsujin controller. So to find that in the box alone would have been worth the 5,400 yen. So I just went ahead and picked up the system since it came bundled with the limited edition controller. And here's a closer look at the controller. That's it for the Mega Drive. Let's check out Neo Geo. So first up for Neo Geo CD is Ghost Pilots. I found this, I wanted the game, I didn't have it yet, so I went ahead and picked it up, and it was about $50, so pretty decent deal for this guy. But then later on I found the AES version, which is way cooler, and it was a lot more pricey than 50 bucks, but I saw this, I had to have it, and so I'll probably end up selling the CD version now that I have the AES version complete in box, and in excellent condition as well. Next up I got a Neo Geo memory card, and these are actually really hard to come by. This is the first one I've ever seen, and it was only 25 or 30 bucks, and they go for a lot more than that online. So I was actually really excited to find this memory card for a good deal. Last but not least is a boxed Neo Geo controller. And again, this was another good deal. I got it for $50 roughly, and they go for more than that loose without the box. So the controller's in excellent condition. The box, it's not the greatest, but it is a really cool find and a really good price, so that's why I picked it up. I also have another Neo Geo controller and another complete in box Neo Geo CD console, but they're being shipped to me, so I don't have them here to show you yet. Alright, next we'll cover the PC Engine, and this is by far the most pickups I got in Japan. Were all PC Engine related. The first thing up is the Shuttle controller, and this was $30, and one of my wants going to Japan was to find a complete in box PC Engine Shuttle console, or even a loose one. The thing's cool, but I wasn't able to find one anywhere we went, but I did find a controller for one. I might just end up finding the console on eBay because it's a really cool console. And one of my favorite pickups of the trip is a complete in box interface unit. This is the actual interface unit itself, and this one came with the CD-ROM 2 already in it, and then I found another cheap PC Engine out and about that I threw in there to complete the interface unit. And this has all the cables and everything, and I got this for a lot cheaper than what they go for online as well. So this was a really cool find. I love the interface unit, and eventually I want to get all the PC Engine consoles complete in box. So here's a good start. Alright, now for the games. Rabio La Puce, which is a shoot 'em up. Puzzle Boy, Barunba, another shoot 'em up. Override, and this was only $80, so this was a good deal. Another shoot 'em up there. Operation Wolf, Ninja Warriors, W-Ring, R-Type 2, PC Ginjin, PC Ginjin 2, and I already have the third one. And then Airzonk, Mr. Heli, Hani in the Sky, another shoot 'em up, McKay Prince, Puznik, B-Ball, which is a puzzle game, Heavy Unit, Cyber Combat Police, Outrun, Shinobi, which was a pretty good deal at $50, I believe. And we're still going. Paranoia, Avenger, Toy Shop Boys, which is another shoot 'em up. It has 3 characters in it, and you can hit the button to switch which one it is, and they all have different weapons as you're playing, so it's pretty cool. Gamola Speed, which I was really excited to find. This game is really fun. I used to have it loose. I got rid of all my loose PC Engine games. I don't like them loose. So the goal was to go back and find them all complete in the case. And here's Gamola Speed, so I was excited to find this one for about 20 bucks. 1943, Cybercore, Space Invaders, Gakisha Boy, Renjin Baraba Man, which is a pretty fun game I used to have loose as well. Jaigoku Magiri, Shubibin Man, Shubibin Man 3, which these look like they're pretty fun games. Tiger Road, and finally Legend of Hero Tonma. And this is one game that I was finally able to find for a good price, and everywhere else I went it was more expensive. So I'm really happy to have found this one for about $70. Alright, up next is PlayStation, and I have a few controllers for other systems, and that'll be it until everything is shipped to me. Hopefully it doesn't take that long to get here, and maybe I'll do a leftover pickups video. For PlayStation, at the first stop I got Gunbird, Parodius, Rockman X5 for $10, and I found the Go construction game for those yellow twin sticks. I got a PlayStation 2 stand in the box. I like collecting the accessories for PlayStation 2. This was only 100 yen, which was $1, so I just like collecting the accessories boxed. And then I got the Gundam Gold PlayStation 2. It came with the stand that it sits in. I found the memory card separate in the same store. And I found the controllers, which are in excellent condition. One for 2,000 yen or $20, and one for 1,500 yen. So pretty good deal on those. Up next is a Club Nintendo GameCube controller, which is teal and white, and it says Club Nintendo on it. This was about $100, and it had a worn thumbstick. I wasn't worried about that because I can replace the thumbstick with another one. But what drove me nuts about getting this controller is I found a mint condition one at the very next store for $75. So I was really disappointed when I saw that other controller. I found a complete in box orange GameCube controller for $30. This is pretty cool. You don't really see the orange box controller anywhere. You see the console everywhere, but to find a controller by itself in the box, pretty cool. And we found a random mom and pop type store where I got a hold of this Hori Super Commander controller for about $15 completing the box. So that was a really good deal as well. Well, that's all I have for now. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the game chasing and the adventure. And if you did enjoy it, please make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll be bringing you more videos like this. Until next time, I'm Wayne, and thanks for watching.